Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar today. Welcome back for people who are joining us again. We're going to be talking about exploring exciting opportunities in RBC Insurance with Diana Caldi. Diana, you want to say a quick hello?
Hi, thank you so much for having me here today, Sonia. I really do appreciate it. I'm very excited about today's group and the session.
Awesome. We're very excited to have you on. Okay, so Diana, I'm going to pass it over to you. Is the view better now?
I see the laptop, and then on the right there where it says RBC, like that one quarter of the
Yeah,
slide
yes.
i
So
is missing.
it's fine. We're going to move forward to your slides, and they should be fine. Yes, that's how
Oh,
it's
okay,
supposed
awesome.
to be.
Thank you.
No problem.
Excellent.
So if you want to just do a quick introduction and then we'll move on to your slides.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you so much for having me here today, Sonia. I really do appreciate it. So, for everybody on the line, my name is Diana Caldi, and I'm a senior recruiter here at RBC Insurance. I've been in the insurance industry for almost 30 years now, worked in various roles and positions directly from the business, and worked for a couple of insurance companies. And I have to say, I made the move over here. It's probably been about 10 years now, and absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. It's a great company to work for, and I'm hoping you'll have a lot of questions for me today, and that we can talk about career opportunities within the company. So go ahead, Sonia. Let's start with the first screen there. So, as we said, welcome to RBC Insurance. And from the logo there, you can see that we definitely do carry multiple lines of insurance. We've got life insurance, home, auto, retirement, business, travel insurance, health insurance, so many different lines of insurance that we do sell. And we're going to go over them briefly and talk about the different types of coverages and the different types of insurance that are out there, not only within RBC, but just within the insurance industry in Canada as a whole. If we could go to the next screen and just hit enter a couple times just so that it's there we go. So RBC, actually, yeah, I am going to have to ask you to move some of this because I'm missing part of my slide here. So this sharing, this all the information is on the right side is covering part of my slide. So
Um,
I don't know. That's okay. Well, let's move on because I know it is going to cover some of my slide there. So it's all the information of the dashboard attendees and all that stuff.
oh, so you can just click on, there's an arrow. It says
Yeah,
hide
I
control panel.
like I see a little minus, like and that then closes the whole screen. That's the
No.
problem I've been experiencing.
Oh, so you can hide control panel. There's an arrow.
Okay. Oh, is
There's a
that it?
red arrow.
Red arrow. Okay, there we go. Thank you very much. That's so
No
much better.
problem.
Awesome. Thank you. Alrighty. So I'm technically challenged, people. I just want to let you know that Sonia's the technical whiz here, so she's guiding me through this. So thank you, Sonia. Alrighty. So as I've said here, RBC, we are a division of RBC Financial Group, the bank. And on the insurance side, as I've said, we've covered travel insurance, life, health, property, auto, and reinsurance, and business insurance, creditor insurance. And we're actually one of the few carriers in Canada that are licensed to write reinsurance. Reinsurance is actually insurance for insurance companies. So when a major loss occurs, it could be a hailstorm, it could be flood, hurricanes, things like that. Insurance companies don't necessarily have enough money in their reserves to pay the millions and millions of dollars that go out to take care of the damages. So insurance companies then turn to other insurance companies to assist them in paying. And there are only about 4 carriers in Canada licensed to write reinsurance, and we are one of them. So you know that we definitely are a stable insurance company. As I said, it is a subsidiary of the Royal Bank of Canada, and we are the largest Canadian bank-owned insurer and one of the fastest growing out there as well. We have about 2,600 employees working in our insurance division. RBC Financial Group as a whole has just under 80,000 employees working for it. And next to the Canadian military, we are the largest Canadian employer, Canadian-owned company. And as I said, it's the first of its kind to open retail branches in Canada. So we have our bank branches, and then we also have our insurance retail branches, usually within close proximity. of the retail, of the banking branches. Because of the Bank Act in Canada, we cannot sell insurance in the bank, so we have to have a separate branch, and that's why we've gone this route. Next screen, please, Sonia. And then if you can just hit enter again, just so that screen. Wonderful. So our insurance head office is in Mississauga. We're actually on the 401 for those of you in the Greater Toronto area. We're on the 401, about 15 minutes west of the airport, right on the border of Mississauga and Oakville. And our banking head office is down in Toronto on King Street, but insurance is out here in Mississauga. As I said, we do carry a wide range of different types of insurance, life and health. We are actually the #1 carrier for travel insurance in Canada. So if you go to a travel agency, chances are that the insurance that they will be giving you for travel insurance will be underwritten by RBC. And once again, we've got home and auto insurance products. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but we've recently entered into an agreement with Aviva Insurance, another large insurance company that's actually based out of Scotland, but they do have a head office here in Canada. And they are now underwriting the auto portion, home and auto portion of RBC Insurance. We still have the sales portion, so whenever you do call to purchase this type of insurance, you will be speaking to an RBC employee, and the piece will be underwritten by Aviva. So the claims and underwriting portion is under Aviva, and the sales portion is under RBC. So this is a 15-year agreement that we've entered into with Aviva. This is the first of its kind ever done in the insurance industry. So we're very excited about that because it allows us to expand the type of coverage that we can cover in homes, and that we can now insure larger items such as art exhibits or wine collections, things like that, which we couldn't do before. So merging with Aviva has allowed us to do that on the home and auto side. We also offer insurance for business owners, health and dental, commercial insurance, and offer through all different lines of proprietary channels, whether it be direct writing or third-party distributors. And we'll talk a little more about that and answer any questions that you may have after the presentation as well. Next screen, please. Excellent, thank you. So we touched a bit on property and casualty, or some people know it as home and auto insurance. We also have travel insurance, business insurance. Life and health is a huge component of RBC Insurance, and that seems to be where the big push is. Traditionally, insurance companies really don't make a lot of money under home and auto insurance because of the claims, especially under auto insurance. The claims are usually about $1.13 we put out $1.13 for every dollar that we spent. So insurance companies tend to make more money on the life and health side, and that's where our biggest push is. So if we can go to the next screen, please. So auto insurance. Auto insurance is a government-run insurance, provincially legislated. So you'll find in Ontario and Alberta and Quebec and the East Coast, the insurance policy is essentially the same, no matter what company you go to. That's how it is in Canada. So whether you purchase insurance from us or from Allstate or from Bel Air, the auto policy is the exact same policy. Where insurance companies differ is in the service that they provide, and where repairs are concerned. Do they have preferred vendors taking care of your vehicle, rental companies, things like that? That's where insurance companies differ. Provinces such as British Columbia, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba, as far as car insurance is concerned, are government-run companies. So their insurance policy is very similar to ours, but it is different. So you'll find that half of the country is privately insured the way we are here, but then we have the government-run provinces such as British Columbia, Manitoba, and Saskatchewan, and they're a different policy altogether. Property insurance is not legislated across the country, so you will find homeowner insurance does differ from carrier to carrier. They're basically the same, but each company does have the ability to tweak the coverages to what works best for them and for the area that they're insuring. So you'll see there, as far as homeowner insurance is concerned, we sell condo insurance, tenants insurance, property insurance, rental insurance, watercraft coverage, things like that. And these are positions that are all available within the company as well. If selling insurance is an area of interest to you, these are the different types of lines that you would be trained on. Next screen, Sonia. Travel insurance, we touched upon this, and as I said, RBC is the #1 travel insurance company in Canada. So what travel insurance will cover you for is if you go on a trip, you lose your luggage, or you need to cancel your trip, you can no longer go for whatever reason, or God forbid you're on your trip and you become injured or ill, you're covered for these types of losses. And I can't stress how important travel insurance is. Whether you're selling it, making sure that you have the right coverage to the insured, or if you do go on a trip yourself. A lot of people don't realize how expensive it is when you become ill or injured outside of your country. For instance, if somebody, God forbid, should pass away in another country, it'll cost us about $10,000 to bring the body back in the plane. And these are expenses that you really don't want to incur on your own. So something like travel insurance is definitely very important to think about when you do leave the country, even if you are in Canada and just go over to the border in the States. It's $10,000 to bring a body back, and that's just that expense there. If you're ill and you're in a hospital, it's not uncommon for bills to go up to $1 million if you had to have surgery. So these are things that can definitely be prevented and more affordable if you purchase travel insurance. And that's the type of coverage and peace of mind that we provide to our customers. Next screen, please. So life insurance, as I said, this is where the big push is, where RBC Insurance is concerned. We're constantly developing products for all different types of life insurance. So it sounds kind of funny, but actually life insurance is for when you die, and living benefits insurance is while you're alive. So this will help pay for any outstanding fees or balances or invoices, things that are outstanding when you pass away, so that your loved ones don't have to incur these costs, and you don't have to sell your house in order to pay these outstanding bills and that. So it does protect you and your loved ones. And if we can go to the next screen there. So health insurance, this is the living benefits portion that I was talking about. So this protects you while you are alive. So for instance, you become ill or injured and you can't work, or critical illness. So you're ill and we just don't know how long you're going to be ill, or it could be a terminal illness. So this type of insurance covers you for those types of losses. So you're alive, they're taking care of assisting you in paying for medical expenses, paying for your mortgages, things like that. A hospital stay, just a bedroom, a bed in a hospital, whether you want single coverage, like a room on your own, could run you $200 a night. If you want semi coverage, so you have another person in the room, a little less expensive. But it's very expensive to be in a hospital, and it adds up very quickly. Even though we do have OHIP here in Ontario, there are still expenses that are not covered by that. And this is the type of insurance that we sell to the public and to our customers. Next screen, please. So business insurance, insuring your business. So if something should happen to your business, let's say a flood or something like that, this will help continue that you can pay your expenses in that. And also, we also provide insurance to the employees themselves. So you own your own business, and your employees, we do provide insurance for your employees. So we provide insurance to our own staff, but also we provide a business type of insurance. So if you work for, let's say, Tim Hortons, and your company, your business, will offer some type of insurance for you that the business owner will pay for. And that's the type of insurance that RBC provides. So we have sales agents that go around to businesses and say, would you like insurance for your employees? These are the types of coverages that we have. So there are a lot of companies out there that do this, and RBC is one of them. And once again, these are all sales positions that are available for you. And you'll be trained on the product, and you'll be trained how to sell the insurance. Or if it's the coverage that you're interested in, the underwriting portion, you're trained on how to underwrite that as well. Next screen, please. Creditor insurance. So once again, this is the line of mortgage or loans or any credit that you should take out. If something should happen to you and you become ill and injured or die, this coverage will take over and pay off any outstanding anything outstanding that you may owe to the bank or on a loan or your credit card. It will pay all of that off for you so that your family does not have to incur this cost. Once again, if you become disabled or you're injured and you can't work, this will continue making those payments for you on these loans that you have out so that your family doesn't have to incur these costs and you don't have to lose your house. This here, creditor insurance, a lot of people don't think about that, but I can't stress how important it is and what peace of mind we provide for insureds when they purchase this type of coverage, just knowing that their family is going to be okay and that they still have their house while the main worker of the family or the I've just lost my train of thought here, but the main provider can no longer work, and just knowing that the family is still safe and they still have a roof over their heads. Next one. Wealth products. So this is another type of coverage that we provide for individuals for after retirement in that. So while they're working right now, we assist them in putting money aside and investing in certain things so that when they do retire, they do have this additional income. A lot of this tends to go with individuals, what we call our VIP individuals, our high net worth client individuals, and these are all customers that we have on the bank side, and we also go out and generate this type of business. So the nice thing about RBC is that we do have a huge database with our banking customers. So depending on what the product is, sometimes we can just go straight to our clients, and sometimes we rely on customers just phoning in and inquiring. So it all depends on the role itself. And when you do see these positions posted on our website, you'll see whether or not it's an inbound or what we refer to as outbound, whether you're generating the business yourself. Most of the inbound positions that we do have are salary type of roles. They're not commissioned roles. Where the commission roles really do start kicking in is where you're out there and drumming up business on your own. And those tend to be individuals who have been in the industry for a while and developed a pool or a database to actually go out and start generating this type of income. Next screen. So I'm just going to talk briefly about roles specific to the insurance industry as a whole. And I'm sure a lot of you who have an insurance background or may be familiar with insurance are probably familiar with these types of positions. Probably sales is the most common one that people think of. You know, you enjoy meeting clients face to face. We also have call center positions where they're sales roles, but everything is done over the phone. And that's the way you'll find a lot of these positions are. And probably the easiest way to get your foot into a huge company like RBC or any of the other huge carriers. Most of these companies do have call center positions. And as I said, that's probably the best way to get your foot in the door. Some of you may be coming from project management background, business analysts, things like that. But getting your foot in the door through a call center position, getting to know the product, getting to know what works for clients and what doesn't, will definitely assist you in making the move back to where the role was that you came from before. As I said, maybe project manager. Actuary positions, another key role in the insurance industry. If you love math or are good with computers, these types of positions are the statistics that underwriters use in order to calculate what rate, what premium we should charge, or whether or not we should even take the risk. Actuaries, all they do is review stats and crunch numbers and figure out the probability of something happening. So you have a 50-year-old who smokes, female, what is the probability of her developing cancer or having a heart attack? They calculate the probability, the statistics of that. And then these are the figures that they provide to the underwriter. And then the underwriter will look at the probability of it happening, and then the underwriter will decide, okay, we're going to charge this amount for this premium because they're either a high risk or a low risk. A broker is another position that's similar to sales. It's just a broker will work with different insurance companies. We, RBC, are a direct writer, so all our salespeople are RBC employees. You could sort of say we do work with brokers where it comes to travel insurance, because the insurance companies that are out there, the agents that are out there, will use RBC or sell RBC insurance. So they're not RBC employees, but they are trained on the product and will sell our product. Appraisers, they fall under the same category as claims investigators or loss adjusters. Appraisers will go out and assess damage to a property, whether it be a car or it could be a home, but they're not only assessing damage to property, they also will go out on behalf of the insurance company to assess the value of a home or assess the value of a car. And then that'll help us decide whether or not this is a high risk or is this just a straightforward type of risk and the types of premiums that we can charge. Claims investigators, a loss has occurred or loss adjuster. An insured needs to make a claim. So this person will take the details of the loss, set it up in the system, and advise them as to the types of coverages that they would be entitled to and what the next steps are in this claim and what we're going to do. I was a claims adjuster for 10 years for home and auto. So this is what I did. We would take care of the insured, set their vehicle up for repairs if need be, or if the vehicle is deemed a total loss. So you would settle them for the value of the car. If they're injured in the accident, we would set them up for accident benefits or bodily injury coverage. These are the types of coverages that we afford to insureds in Ontario here, so that if they are injured, they can receive treatment such as therapy, or if they're in the hospital, we will take care of any bills that they will incur while they're in the hospital, and essentially getting them back to where they were before. So a claims adjuster will also investigate the nature of the loss, try to determine who is at fault for this loss. Is it a split fault, split liability, or are we 100% at fault, or was the other person 100% at fault? And then there's also once the fault has been determined, depending on the nature of the loss, sometimes you might be able to subrogate or get your money back from the at-fault party. Homeowner insurance, or auto insurance rather, not so much anymore. It's set up differently, but homeowner insurance, definitely there is the right to subrogate or get the money back. And marketing representative, let's talk a bit about that. So if you enjoy promoting, presenting, you're out there. It's almost like a sales position, but you're out there promoting RBC to a vendor and asking them to sell our insurance. Once again, the travel piece. So a marketing person would go out to a travel agent and talk about RBC insurance and talk about possibly selling. Or the business has purchased RBC insurance for their employees. The marketing person will go out there and do a presentation to the employees of that business, talking about this is RBC insurance, these are the coverages that you have. Any questions that you have, this person will be able to answer. And once again, you're trained on all of this. A risk manager, identifying risks to a company or to a line or to a product. So once again, this type of person definitely is well versed in the product and in the line, and that's more of a senior type of position. And underwriter, once again, you're a relationship developer. You're working with the salespeople, deciding whether or not we can insure this person, and if so, what type of premium should we charge. You're also working with our claims department too. Claims may say, I think this person is at fault for the accident, but they're willing to pay for the damages out there. So maybe we can reduce the effect of the amount of premium, how this policy or how this loss will affect their premium. And these are all different relationship building types of roles. And just because you work in one area does not mean you're siloed in that specific area. We encourage you to talk to the underwriters and risk managers and brokers. We want that open type of relationship, and that's how the company works. I have to say the company is very good that way in ensuring that silos are not developed, that you are able to speak to people in other divisions, and we encourage that, and we encourage job shadowing in other areas as well. That's just how RBC works. We believe in employee development and growth, and that's key for us. And these types of roles, if you start off in this type of position, you could actually move into other non-traditional positions. And Sonia, if you can go to the next screen and we'll talk about those. So these are other types of roles that are available in the insurance industry. So it's more than just the stereotypical insurance roles. What you have to realize is that insurance is a business, just like anything else. Anything that a business needs to operate or function, insurance is the exact same way. I recruit for 75 different positions within RBC Insurance, and less than 5% of those positions that I hire for are sales oriented. So there's so much more out there. There are your analysts, business development. You can see on the screen there, change management, relationship, project management, product development. And as I said, the easiest way to get your foot in the door, if you did these types of positions, these types of roles, in your own home country, you can get back into those types of positions again simply by getting your foot in the door through an entry-level position, working in that position like a claims type of position or a sales type of position in a call center, doing that for about a year, getting to know the product, getting to know how it works in Canada, how the product works in Canada, and how the industry works here, getting to know our customers, what works with them, what doesn't. And then after doing that, your manager will actually sit down with you and say, where do you want to go from here? What would you like to do? Oh, you know what? I loved communications. That's what I did before. Or I loved marketing. That's what I did before. They'll actually arrange job shadows for you in those areas to assist you to get to that next level. Last year, I hired about 250 people myself. There's 7 recruiters that work for insurance. We have 120 recruiters within RBC Financial Group as a whole, and 7 are dedicated to insurance. So I'm just one of 7, and I hired 250 people last year myself. And 40% of my hires came from our call centers, came from internal transfers. 60% were external hires, 40% were internal moves. So RBC really does believe in promoting from within. You start off with a company like ours, you can definitely make a move into other areas, and you could start your career here and end your career here. You could definitely retire. We have people who have been working with us for 30, 40 years in the company. And the nice thing about RBC Insurance is that we are a division of the bank, so you could make a move over onto the bank side. I hire people from the bank side. They make move back and forth throughout their career. And that's the nice thing about dealing with a company like ours. And you've got the bank behind you, so you have the stability behind you as well. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. As far as positions are concerned, as I said, call center is probably the easiest way to get your foot in the door. We literally are hiring hundreds of people every month going through. Classes are going through. And there are different types of call center positions. There are inbound ones, there are outbound ones, there are sales-oriented ones, there are service-oriented ones. Service in the sense that the product has already been sold, and now the customer, the insured, is phoning in because they have questions about the coverage or they need to make a change on their coverage. So those ones, you don't have to be licensed. Those are not sales-oriented ones. The sales-oriented ones, licensing is required, and the posting will stipulate. It'll tell you what type of license you need. So you've got your OTL, other than life. And then you have your LLQP, which is your life license. So depending on the type of insurance you're selling, the posting will tell you if you need to be licensed. And on some of these positions, we will train you and assist training you in the licensing, or it'll say willing to obtain within a couple of months a certain type of license. And then there's some roles where you have to actually be licensed before you can apply to the position. And if it doesn't indicate any type of licensing, then you know it definitely is a service-oriented type of position where the product has been sold. And once again, you will be trained on all of these, and we will assist you in training and obtaining your license as well. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for right now. That's it in a nutshell, the overview. And right now, I'd like to entertain any questions that you may have for me. So, Sonia, I'm not sure what we would do. Just open it up now.
Yes, so thank you very much, Diana. That was very informative. We are getting a few questions.
Oh, wonderful.
So I'm going to, yeah, so everyone, I'll give everyone a few moments to type in their questions and then we'll get started.
Mm-hmm. Okay, excellent.
So yeah, thank you everyone for posting your questions. I have a question from Ananya, and she wants to know that
Mm-hmm.
they've been in the insurance field for over 5 years and in the marketing department,
Right.
and they want to know if whether there are profiles in respect to cross-selling, campaign management,
Mm-hmm.
customer engagement. Would you have any such roles?
Excellent question. And yes, we do have these types of roles. The thing with that type of role is our call center positions come up every month. Marketing positions come up when the need arises. So it's a matter of setting your profile up in our website at rbc.com, setting your resume up in our database, and then you can set up what's called a career alert. And I would encourage everybody on the line to do this. Set up a career alert for yourself so the system can do the searching for you. So if marketing is an area of interest for you, when a marketing position comes up, you'll actually receive an email that will say posting number 12345, and then you can have a look at it and see if it is of an interest to you. If it is, then you can go ahead and apply online, and if it's not, you just delete it. I still would recommend that you do go onto the website and have a look at the positions that are there just to get a feel for what is available, because sometimes a position may pique your interest that you never even thought of. But definitely set up your resume in our database, set up the career alerts so that when these marketing positions do come up, you will be privy to them and you will be able to see them immediately and decide whether or not you'd like to apply online. But yes, cross-selling is something that we do. And once again, the position will stipulate whether or not cross-selling is involved. And you're also rated on client satisfaction, how quickly you'll handle a call, how many files you put through, depending on the nature of the role. So these types of criteria will be discussed with you during the interview so that you do understand how you would be rated for a position to indicate whether or not you were successful or whether or not you needed some assistance or some help. And that's the other thing that I have to say we're very good on as well. It's not just once a year that your manager will sit down with you. So at that point in time, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I had issues or I was struggling in this area. Your manager will sit down with you every 2 weeks or at least once a month. And then we'll have a review with you 4 times a year so that if there are any issues, you are made aware of them early on in the game so that your manager can sit with you and help you to develop and to grow so that when your yearly review comes up, nothing is surprising to you. You're already well versed as to where you are and what's going on. And I mean, I have managers that call me all the time that say, Diana, this person's struggling in my department, but, they still have so much more to offer. Is there anything that we can find for them somewhere else? So I get people who start off in a sales position and then make a move over into a customer service role, and they're excelling in the customer service role, or vice versa. They're in a customer service oriented role and the passion just isn't there. I want to try my hand at sales, and then we move them over into a sales position when that becomes available. So I have to say, your manager is definitely interested in you and wants to see you succeed, it is part of your manager's mandate in RBC to get you to that next level. I have managers who phone me and say, okay, I've got a new class in here, I've got a new group. My goal is to have everybody out of my department and in a different role within 2 years. That's how they work. So they want to see you develop and grow, and they will do whatever they can and whatever needs to be done in order to help you get to that next level. Now, that's not saying that you're not responsible for your career. No, no, no. I mean, you still are responsible for your career and, making moves into other areas. You still have to, apply to these positions and that, but they will provide you the tools and they will definitely assist you. And as I said, they will help you wherever they can if you are struggling in areas to make sure that you are meeting the status quo and doing what needs to be done so that when you have your yearly review, you have a positive yearly review. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Diana. Sandeep wants to know if he can start a career as a claims investigator or underwriter, even if he or she doesn't have any relevant experience. And if that's so, does RBC maybe provide some kind of training?
Mm-hmm. Excellent question. So underwriters traditionally do need some type of underwriting experience before they can be considered for a position. Where can you get that? You can actually get that from a sales position. Our sales positions, part of the role is to be an underwriter, so you would be trained on that. As far as claims are concerned, we do have entry-level claims positions for disability insurance, and those positions are based in Toronto, and no claims experience is required there. What we're looking for are good customer service skills, and then you'll be trained on the product. So underwriters, traditionally, yes, you do need a bit of underwriting experience under your belt. We have taken sales people and move them over into underwriting. But claims, you can definitely start off with no insurance experience, no claims experience. You will be trained on the product. And then there's so many levels within underwriting, intermediate, senior underwriter, and with claims as well. You can start off, as I said, an entry-level disability claims analyst, move your way into a more senior type of position. Then you start handling more complex files. Then you can move into litigation, or you can move into fraud. We have a special investigations unit team. SIU, as we call them. And that team is comprised of senior adjusters, so adjusters who have been doing this role for a number of years, and retired police officers. There's so many different avenues that you can move into as far as claims is concerned. As I said, fraud as well. And underwriting, there are very many different levels as well.
Thanks, Diana. Abhishek here has a question. He's working as a sales representative for Vox Data on behalf of RBC in Montreal in the life and health insurance program, and he really wants to work directly with RBC, and he's wondering what the process for that would be.
Okay, excellent question. So best way, because you have that online sales experience, this is fantastic because you already have proven track record there. So what you would have to do would be to go onto our website at rbc.com under the careers section and then start applying to those types of positions. If it's a sales position that you're interested in, set up your career alert and you can bring up all the sales positions. We have the call center positions and we also have our retail branches as well. So retail branches, a lot of it depends on walk-in business. So these branches are scattered throughout the city. And what they rely on, as I said, is individuals just walking in and saying, hey, I'm interested in, RBC insurance. What do you have? How does it work type of thing. And those positions, you are bound by the hours that the mall or that particular area has. So if you're working in a strip mall or if you're working in a mall, the hours of operation for that business would be whatever the mall is. With the call center, most of our call center positions are run from 8 in the morning until 8 at night. Some of our call centers are open 24/7, and that would be the travel claims. But as far as the sales ones are concerned, they usually run till about 8 p.m. Some of them are open until 10 p.m. because you want that availability for the clients that are out of province or, who work different shifts, and we want to be available to them. But yes, if you're working at a call center type of area right now and you are selling our product, they'll see that and that'll definitely help to get you in. But everything has to be done online with RBC. And as I said, setting up the career alert, and then you could set yourself up for these sales types of positions and start applying. The other thing I want to talk about too is referrals, employee referrals. We love getting employee or candidates referred to us by our staff. If you know anybody that works at RBC, I would highly recommend that when you set up your profile in our database, there's a section there that says, do you know anybody that works here? Put that person's name down. Obviously, ask them if you can first, but if they say yes, put that person's name down and it'll ask for their email address, because when you come in, you're flagged one of three ways. You're flagged as an external, an internal, or an external who has been referred by an existing RBC employee. It just kind of helps. It's all about that networking piece. And I strongly recommend that you do that, whether you apply to positions here or at other companies where you know people that work at those other companies. Use them as a referring employee. It'll definitely help to push your resume through and your application through. Thank you.
Thank you. Nihal has a question, wants to know, just for insurance again, do you choose people from other industries as well?
Oh, yes, most definitely. I can't tell you how many transferable skills there are in any industry that you may have come from, most definitely. And that's what I'm always looking for. So that's why when you set your resume up, make sure you put down the primary responsibilities, what you did, because as a recruiter, that's my role, is to identify those transferable skills. I would say probably about 60-70% of the people that I hire do not come from an insurance background. So definitely there's an opportunity there to make a move into insurance. And as I said, we take people from the bank side as well. But the majority of the people that I do hire do not come, especially for the entry-level positions, do not come from an insurance background. Where you do need an insurance background is where you start getting into your more senior, specialized types of roles. Then yes, that insurance knowledge is key. But for the majority of the roles, entry-level and intermediate, no. The people that I do hire do not come from an insurance background.
Awesome, thank you. And Ajita has a really good question. Wants to know if all of these insurance positions, are they commission-based only, or are they salary plus commission?
Excellent question. Our call center positions are all salaried positions because we are relying on the customer to phone in. You're not making outbound calls. Where you start getting into a combination is in our retail branches, where it is a combination of some walk-in business, but you're also making some outbound calls. Those are a combination of salaried with a variable bonus. And then we do have commissioned roles where the agent is actually going out and generating business on their own. Those tend to be more the life insurance type of positions, and the more seasoned person, somebody who has been in the sales business for a long time, so they've developed a clientele and they know where to go. They've got their own style. Because to have a position that's 100% commission, just starting out yourself, would be incredibly difficult to ensure that you would have a steady income. So those tend to be the more difficult types of roles, like life insurance. Life insurance is a lot more difficult to sell than home or auto insurance, because everybody needs home and auto insurance. But life, it involves a lot more work, and those are the more commission-based roles. Home and auto tends to be salaried. So we do have 3-4 different levels of salaried, commission, and salary. And the posting will stipulate that, whether or not it's a salaried role or if it's a commission or salary and variable bonus, things like that. So it'll tell you. But for starting out with no insurance experience, definitely have salaried positions that pay like $45,000. So you know you've got a steady income coming in. And then when you start getting a little more comfortable with insurance, the industry, and start branching out, then you can start moving into more of a commission-based role. And that's where the big bucks are really made. I mean, you could be on a 100% commission role for life insurance, and you could be pulling in $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year. But once again, these people do put in a lot of time, a lot of hours, and they're seasoned salespeople. But that potential is there. You could be in there. You could be in that if in that area within 5 years time. No question about that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But some wants to know if there's a license for insurance, if they're going to be working in such roles like other than a call center.
Sorry, if there's licensing for insurance?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. The only licensing that we need right now is for selling. So OTL and LLQP, and depending on the role, depending on what's going on in that department, we can assist you in obtaining that license. Some positions require you to already have the license, and you can obtain that license through the Insurance Institute of Canada or through LOMA if you're not obtaining that license through us. But yeah, so other than sales, that's pretty much it. That's the only area that requires licensing. As far as our claims positions are concerned, they do have certain types of levels of adjusters, and you can definitely obtain that type of knowledge through the company. As I said, we do assist employees in development and growth, and we're firm believers in that. So if there's a course that you want to take while you're in this role that will assist you in the position that you're in, RBC will help to pay for that type of course. So as far as the adjusters are concerned, if there's additional licensing required, once you've passed the course, they'll reimburse you for that. But as far as licensing in general is concerned, it's just for sales positions. That's it. Nothing else requires any type of licensing.
Thank you, Diana. So our finance services connections program, I'm sure you're aware of them, are also watching our webinar today, and one of them has a question and wants to know what's the career path from a customer service representative position moving forward.
Oh gosh, you can go anywhere. Let me just talk about my own background just as a sample, and then we can go on too. So I started off as a claims adjuster, and I was a claims adjuster for 10 years, and I absolutely loved it. So I mean, you could start off as a customer service rep, do that for 2 years, and then make a move over into claims or continue down the sales path. But let's say you move into claims, so now you're a claims adjuster. There's so many different roles that you can move into, as I said, litigation, the SIU, all different levels. You can move into accident benefits, bodily injury. So I did that for a number of years. From there, I moved into quality assurance. So I was QA. I was monitoring the phone calls, reviewing the files, auditing the files. So I was working with the adjusters and just making sure that, there was a consistent or a consistency as to the quality of the calls and the quality of the files. And I did that for a number of years. From there, from QA, quality assurance, I moved into training, and I was a trainer for 7 years. So I would train the new hires. So that's another area that you could get into. You enjoy customer service, so now you want to teach the new hires how to handle the customers and what to do when you have that difficult call. So I trained for 7 years and taught them about the policies, and you could do the same. From training, we had many system releases, and I thought for myself, if I'm going to be teaching these people how to use a new computer system, I want to understand what I'm talking about. I want to be able to answer any questions that they may have. So I went to the business analysts and I said, can I help you guys in this area here? Can I do some test cases in that just so I understand what I'm talking about? And they said, yeah, sure. So I helped them there, and I realized, oh my God, this business analyst world is so cool. And I made a move over into the BA world, and I was a BA, a business analyst for 5 years, working on system releases, things like that. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. And from there, I made a move over into human resources, HR. So now I'm recruiting for the roles that I've held in the past. Business analyst, you can make a move over into project management or product development because you understand the product. And this is just one path. This was just my path. But there's so many different paths that you can go wherever you want to go, really. And that's the nice thing about RBC. You could make a move over into a totally unrelated area if it interests you. Your manager will assist you in the job shadows. And because you get to know the people in that area and they get to know you, they're more willing to take you in and teach you whatever needs to be taught if you're missing anything. But that's just my career path, and that's just one of hundreds. There's so many different areas that you can move into. Does that answer the question a bit?
I think it does.
Okay,
Thank
alrighty.
you. Thank you. Well, Io has a question, wants to know what experience or skills do you look out for in newcomers to make them highly qualified to be selected for sales or customer service roles?
Excellent question. I want to make sure that they're a good fit for the department. Most of the positions that you're going to be applying to will be over the phone. It won't be a face-to-face type of position. It'll be most likely over the phone. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that the person that I'm speaking with, I want to hear that passion comes through, so that when the insured is speaking with you, they know that you're genuinely interested in what's best for them. So we want to hear that passion come over the phone. I'm looking for good customer service skills. That's key. I can teach you the technical piece of the policy. I'm not worried about that. I know you will learn that. But what I can't teach you is what comes from within. Either you have it or you don't. Either you are love working with people, or love working with numbers, whatever it is, or you don't. So the first conversation that you'll have with any recruiter will probably be over the phone. And if it's a customer service oriented role that you're applying to, we want to make sure that passion comes through, because we don't have the body language to fall back on. You'll be trained on the product, but I can't stress enough that customer service skills, placing the customer first, RBC is key on that, and that is probably one of the reasons why the company has been so successful, is because we always place the client first. One of the questions I do ask people when I'm interviewing them is, why are you interested in joining RBC? What's caught your eye about the company? And a lot of people will tell me, I first came to Canada and I opened up my bank account with RBC, and the customer service has been fantastic. I'm always treated with respect and I'm always taken care of, and I would love to be part of a company like that. So again, it's that customer service piece. We can teach you the policy, we can teach you, the coverages, but I can't teach you what comes from within. You have to have that passion, and it's in your best interest too. What you want to do is look for a position that you will enjoy, because you're going to spend more time with these people that you're working with than you do with your own families. So it's important to find that passion, whether it be working with a customer, speaking with a customer, whether it be in the back office, working with numbers like underwriting or actuary, or new business. A policy and application has been written up, and now we need to put that policy into the system. So what are we looking for? We're looking for somebody who pays attention to detail, who loves working with computers and inputting information. Maybe you're not too keen on talking to people, and that's fine. It takes all kinds of people to run a company, but you still have to make sure that passion is there in what you're doing. Because in the end, what's the point of me hiring you for that position if you're only going to leave 2 months later and find something else? So take the time to look for a position that you're going to enjoy, or know that I want to get into that position 2 or 3 years from now. So this is what I have to do. This is my stepping stone in order to get into that area. But passion in customer service, working with people and helping people, that's key in the insurance industry.
Thank you. Can you just emphasize on what is a role of a business analyst? Is it on the IT side or is it on the sales side?
Okay, so the business analyst, we've got the functions and operations. So we do have business analysts in IT. We have business analysts in insurance. We have business analysts on the bank side. There are business analysts in every different area. So it's not as though it just falls under IT. No, we've got BAs under all different lines of insurance. So we have BAs for travel insurance, business analysts for life insurance, business analysts for home and auto insurance, for systems as well. So it all depends on the area that you're interested in and where you'd like to go. And that's what you will specialize in. So if you're a business analyst for life insurance, you'll probably also cover travel insurance as well. Be trained on that as well. And if you're interested in IT, you'll be a BA specifically on the IT side. So it all depends on where you want to go and what you'd like to do, but the options are there and the availability is there. No question about that.
Perfect, thank you. And what is the role of an insurance advisor or a relationship manager?
Okay, so an insurance advisor in our company, that's the other thing. The terminology you'll find might differ from company to company. So an insurance advisor here is sort of like a salesperson or a service-oriented person. So they'll be talking about the coverages that an individual has under a certain type of policy. So they may have purchased the coverage or they may want to purchase it, but you're advising them as to this is the type of coverage we offer or this is the type of coverage that you've purchased. A relationship manager within RBC, that tends to be more along the lines of a sales-oriented type of position or working with our third-party vendors. So the product has already been sold, and now this person will go out to the business that we may have sold insurance to a company for life insurance for their employees. So now the relationship manager will go out to that business and maintain that relationship. So the product has already been sold, and now this person goes out to that company and talks to the owner of the company and talks to the employees and answers any questions that they may have about this particular coverage. So you have your salespeople, person that goes out there and sells the product to these businesses and then you have your relationship manager. So the product has now been sold, and now this person maintains that relationship with the client or the business.
Thank you. Yeah, so thank you everyone for asking all your questions. And again, thank you, Diana, for that very informative presentation. And I'm sure that you've answered a lot of questions today. But this does bring us to the end of our webinar. So thank you again for your participation. If you'd like to get in touch with us, the best way is through our social media, which is we're on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And there is a survey again at the end of the webinar, and we'd love to hear back from you. So please feel free to fill it out. And Diana, thank you for offering to answer the questions during your next webinar as well. So again, please everybody, if you do want to speak to Diana again, log in next Tuesday at 11 a.m. and we'll see you then.
Awesome. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Diana, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Thanks. Take care.
Bye now.
Bye.